Good morning, everybody. Good morning. How are you doing? Just before I get started, guys, we are looking for sponsorships for the VKSFB. We've got a big event in August with the rematch with me and Robbie Brown, and we're going to have a massive undercard on it as well. But I just want to say, guys, how you all doing? Listen, guys, I just want to say before we get started to the moderators, can we get rid of the idiots in the chat? Because I've noticed the past couple of times we've been letting a lot of people get away with stuff. Listen, if you aren't going to be respectful and you aren't going to listen, you can have an opinion against me. That doesn't bother me, right? You don't have to like me, but if you start bullying, morning Emily, mate. If you start bullying on here, no, I'm going to make you, Emily, the chief mod. Let's have a look. Moderator Emily. Yeah, you're a moderator already, Emily. Yeah, let's have a look. Do you want to be a moderator, Stacey? I'll make you a mod, mate. Can all the moderators please get rid of the idiots that come on the chat? Morning, Faye. How you doing, love? You all right, pal? Tanya? I'm going to make you a moderator. Going to be a moderator, Tanya. Morning, M1. How you doing, bro? Nothing to see but the truth. How you doing, brother? Yeah, man. Yeah. I've made you a moderator, Stacey, mate. And you, Tanya. Abraham, how you doing, pal? Like I say, listen, you can have an opinion against me. It doesn't bother me, but don't start coming with your nonsense on the chat because you'll be gone. And that's what I want the mods to do. Just get rid of the idiots that are bullying or making very horrible remarks. You all right, Emma? I did see the fella posting the private details up. You know what it is, guys? I am going to talk about my mental health problems today, about my complex post-traumatic stress and my bipolar. Now, the thing is with me, and I know this, I can be my worst own enemy. Yeah? I can be my worst own enemy. Okay? I can do stupid things. I can be erratic. And as I've done, I've posted, well, what I was trying to do was show people that I wasn't lying about pulling out the Dougie fight that I did try to take my own life a week ago. And after trying to take my own life, I actually still turned up against to fight Robbie. Do you know what I mean? And I knew after that fight with Robbie that my mind and my body wasn't capable of doing maybe a 20, 15, half an hour fight. Do you know what I mean? So that's why I've decided to take a step back, get myself fit, get myself healthy, get up early, 5 o'clock every single morning, and just start having a bit of self-care and looking after myself and looking after number one and getting myself in a state where I can fight, give my 100% best with no excuses. And like I said, there's still no excuses from the Robbie fight. He's a good competitor. And people are saying to me, like, why do you want to go back to Robbie's game? Because it's a challenge. I mean, I have to. I've got to have something. It's no point in me just fighting Robbie in a bare knuckle fight. It's better doing it the way Robbie does it, because then for me that challenges me to try and better myself, which I'm going to do. I'm going to go away and work on a bit of ground game. Yeah, I'm not going to learn jiu-jitsu, whatever you call it. People are checking me out or pronounce it. I'm not going to learn that in 12 weeks, but what I can learn is the fundamentals, the basics, what I need for no rules fighting. Do you know what I mean? Because I love that no rules, man. I love it. And you know what? I know this might sound a bit crazy, but when he was raining them elbows down on me, I was just loving every part of it. I just like getting hit. I don't know why. It's crazy, isn't it? Thank you, Ian Wright, mate. You okay? I'm a swinging. How you doing, doll? Lee Froch, how are you, pal? What I've decided to do as well, guys, I'm not going to bring, and this is what, I don't want anyone to take this the wrong way, but I don't want to bring anyone on the lives anymore, because I don't want to get involved in arguments. I don't want to get involved in back and forth and people shouting and slating people. At the end of the day, I see everything that's going on online. I see everybody. I see what gets said. I see everything. But as I said, the guy that's put my private information out, how on earth he can take the mick out of sexual abuse? Do you know what though? And this goes to all the men out there that have suffered it. Don't be ashamed to talk about it. Like I say, things have been. I've kind of drip fed people of things. I've never really went into deep detail. I've only done that with my psychiatrist. But I'm starting to get to the stage now where I can openly speak about it, and I'll do that once I learn to handle the triggers, because every time I talk about it, man, I just get triggers all the time, and it puts me in a really bad place, and I don't want to talk about that because I'm on a positive state today. But once I get to the stage where I can handle the triggers, I want to talk about it publicly, like in person, maybe go in colleges and schools, or or even on lives, because I want. There's a lot of men out there that don't keep it a secret, man. Always be open, because it's a massive weight off your shoulder, and I found that with me. I found it. You know what I mean? It's a secret I kept for a lot of years, for all my life. You know what I mean? And that's why I turned to a dickhead. I was always a dickhead. I wasn't good in relationships through it. You know what I mean? Come on, darling. My dog just loves me a bit. Come on, baby. Come on, then. Come on, then. You're going to bed. Come on, then. I'm going to play with you. Come on. I'm on alive, man. I can't play. Come on. Come on. Come here. Good girl. Good lass. Little doggy comes to see your dad. But anyways, I'm not going to speak about it. But soon I will. I want to be open, totally open about. Obviously, the guy's name's out there now. The only reason I didn't want to speak about it in deep depth detail is because it could open a can of worms for other people as well that have been victim of the fella. You know what I mean? Like, I don't want to be responsible for triggering other people, if you get me. Because I'm quite known in the public domain. I'm very well known, and things like that can travel very fast. And things like that in the public domain can affect other people that have been victims. You know what I mean? So it's not good, man. Very scummy move, Craig. And you know what, pal? I know where you live. Can you remember when you told me to take your address off my live? And I did, because I'm not a mug. I wouldn't scummy people that way. But because I know where you live, I will come and turn up at your place to talk to you. That's not a threat. I'll come and talk to you, okay? And then you can explain everything to me in person that you do online as you do in person, okay? Maybe need to have a word with your old man as well. I'll have a word with your father and tell him to reel you in, because you're a horrible, vile man that you're making a lot of people's lives hell, and it's not good. Paul Benson, going into schools would require an enhanced DBS check. Yes, and I've got that, Paul. And I have the enhanced DBS. So don't worry about that, pal. Don't worry about that at all. Yeah, Paul, I've just started training back properly. Do you know what I mean, mate? I can see you, Jay, mate. But, yeah, just get rid of the idiots out the comments, mods. I'm going to make all the good people mods. But, yeah, I want to come on today and I want to speak about my complex post-traumatic stress. That's my fans. Follow me, guys. You'll get all my content, training and sparring on that one. You have to subscribe to it. But you know what? I just want to say thank you to the people that actually follow me on there. I've posted a video up this morning, I think. Let's have a look. Yeah, thank you, Emily. Morning, Free the Weed. How you doing, pal? Total respect, Purple Lackey. I agree with you, mate. John Decca, proper fight. Thank you, mate. Yeah, Paula Brown. I get it, mate. I get it. Do you know what it is, people? With the I didn't know what complex post-traumatic stress was. Never had a clue. Right? I heard of post-traumatic stress. I mean, I'd heard of that, but I didn't understand what complex post-traumatic stress was. Right? You know what I mean? It's just chronic trauma, guys. It's just, you can get childhood traumas, prolonged abuse as a child. It comes from that. And what happens is most of my life I behaved in a certain way that wasn't normal. Do you know what I mean? I took drugs to hide. The thing is with me, right? Because of what happened, it made me very insecure in my body and who I was as a person. And I set out as a youngster. I did set out as a child. When I was young, I always had this. I always watched Lenny McLean's fights. I mentioned this in my book. I always watched Lenny McLean's fights, and I took a little bit of inspiration from how violent he was. And I said, you know what? And I always said I would never let anybody bully me again, because I classed that as bullying as well. And the way it happened and stuff, it was bullying. You know what I mean? As well. And I just wanted to create. I went out to create a reputation for myself. And for me, in my own mindset, I thought if I become a hard man, no one will see through my insecurities. Because your paranoid mind works in weird ways. In my head, when people were looking at me as I got older, I'm like, do they know what's happened to me? Can they see through that? So having this persona, putting a shield in front of me to protect me, that was being the hard man, being the tough guy. And it kind of worked in a way, because I put on this act. Like, it was like an act all my life, really. Like Billy Big Bollocks, Jack the Lad, false smile, false confidence. But really, inside I was screaming, you know what I mean? And there's a lot of people out there that suffer, man. And I tell you what, I got bad panic attacks, man. Like, honestly, I used to, not as much now, because my medication I'm on stops that from happening. But the panic attacks were awful, man. Like, I would go into a panic attack, and I thought I was going to die. I absolutely thought I was going to die. I couldn't breathe. You know, when you get that second, like, and then you get a breath. I couldn't get that. I could never catch my breath. But it was a regular thing, guys. Thank you, Emily. Yeah, become a member. Yeah, thank you, mate. But to anyone out there suffering mental health, and especially to the men, because I know there's a lot of men that doesn't want to speak about it. What am I prescribed, Emily? 100 milligrams of sertraline and diazepam. I will be honest with you. Now, I've read up a lot about Lenny McLean. And Lenny McLean admitted later on in life that he had bipolar. And you know what it is? For most of my life, with my behaviour, I was always erratic. And I sometimes used to think I had ADHD, but I never. But that's what I thought. Because I was very hyper and I was erratic and I was up and down in my moods. I mean, I could wake up in the morning, I was bouncing. By the afternoon, I was sad and depressed. And I didn't know until 2018 when I was diagnosed with bipolar. And then I first got put on lithium. Now, it took a long time for that to work, because it was finding the right amount to put into your system. Now, if anyone's had bipolar and you've had lithium, you'll understand that they take your bloods every 2 weeks. And my blood should have been between 0.5 and 0.8. Okay, but I was always hitting the 0.2, 0.3 mark. So they were having to gradually up my dosage, and I ended up on 1,500 milligrams a day. And what the lithium done, it actually made me knackered my eyesight a little bit through crack, and my blurry vision. So when I watch TV from too close, I get blurry vision. And I used to get like really bad pains in my stomach, so I had to come off that. Then they put me on the quetiapine. But I just found with medication that makes you hungry during the night, it makes you worse. It makes your depression worse. It makes you feel crap. And I hated that feeling. But then when the diagnosis come of the complex post-traumatic stress, that's something I've carried all my life, and I didn't know. And what happens with the complex post-traumatic stress? The reason why I was prescribed diazepam was to stop the racing thoughts, overthinking, getting anxiety through the day, getting social anxiety, sometimes going out in public. I'd have to take 5 milligram just to even go to the shop sometimes, you know what I mean? And that's what that's about, man. It's no joke. And it's very, very important. 100%, I agree. Steroids don't help either. 100% steroids, cocaine, all them played a big part as well. Do you know what I mean? The drugs played a part to hide that. I took the drugs to take away the memories and stuff. You know what I mean? It obviously becomes an addiction over time. But it is no joke, guys. Mental health is no joke, and people like the Tyson Fury, everyone speaks about it. You know, it's not much of a stigma anymore, but it is to a lot of men that are proper proud men. Do you know what I mean? Some medication. Well, what made me put on weight over the months just gone was I was taking diazepam, but also I was mixing it with metrazepine. Stupidly, and metrazepine, I would take a tablet about 9 o'clock, 30 milligram, which is a lot, and then I'd wake up in the middle of the night wanting to eat pizzas and doner wraps and all that. And I went through a really, really bad time with that. But you're right, mate. I do the cold water method every day now. I'm doing that every day. Do you know what I mean? Kebabs, 100%, man. Just everything, eating anything, everything in sight. But you got to remember as well, my triggers came from the trolls. What they were calling me, I know about. Do you know what I mean? And it would trigger me. And I'll tell you what, guys, see social media. If you are not thick-skinned, you could end up taking your life, man. Truthfully, the horrible people on this platform. Thank you, Emily. If you want to become a member of the channel, guys, you can become a member. Amazon, mate, the bottle. Tablets you put on weight turn into some 100%, mate. Quetiapine was like that as well. It's an antipsychotic. But that was that. I mean, that was metrazopine's the worst. I think. Like, how's this? Where's my dentist getting in all the time? You know what, Will Cadden? This is why sometimes I think I've got horse. I don't know. There's just I'm weird, bro. Like, I'll drink out of that. Drink out of a cup, coffee, and I'll drink out of a bottle. Cuckoo, mate, cuckoo. Different account, Emily, yeah. But training today, JD, I got up at 5 in the morning. I do my cardio on an empty stomach. Respect from marijuana from free the weed, mate. Did my cardio, come in, done my sit-ups, press-ups, done some vacuums where you suck your stomach in really tight for like so many seconds, do it a few times, really pulls in your waistband. And then I'll do the weights at 1 o'clock this afternoon after I've had my second meal. I fast from 6 at night till 10 in the morning. Then from 10 in the morning till 6 at night, I'll have 3 meals and a snack. First meal, but you know what I've been doing? The keto. You know what? I was finding myself slipping off the keto constantly. And the thing is, with me when I'm dieting, I've got to mix things. I've got to sometimes go through phases of testing different things, what's going to work. And it wasn't working for me, so I thought, you know what? I'll go back to the intermittent fasting. And I'll just eat 3 good meals and a snack. So my first meal it'll be eggs, scrambled egg with porridge and a touch of peanut butter. Second meal will be salmon and broccoli with some cup of fruit. Third meal, that's my snack. That'll be my Greek yogurt with fruit. And then my last meal is a cupful of pasta, whole wheat pasta with some tuna. No sugars, keeping off the sugar, keeping off the milk, still do full fat cream in the coffee. But obviously when you go fasted and when you're doing your intermittent fasting during the non-eating hours, non-calorie hours, it'll be water and black coffee. Do you know what I mean? So, like I say, it is what it is. But I'm in that headset now, especially after that fight with Robbie, to really give us a kick up the bum. I will, Jay. I will. The thing is, it's yeah, very snidey. Do you know what? He doesn't belong on YouTube. That clown, does he? Spike, yeah, he doesn't belong on YouTube. Do you know what? If it wasn't me, it'd be somebody else. I haven't got a clue, JD. I know Joey's made a video, hasn't he, about Hedgehog Man targeting him. They're just getting on his case like they do with everybody. But Joey won't fall for it. All them fake, the notes and that were fake that were put out. Don't know, Pete. I didn't realise, mate. Sometimes I do stupid things off the cuff, erratic. You know what I mean? Thank you for becoming a member, Darren Walker, mate. If you want to become a member, guys, just click join and become a member. No, Joey wasn't Big T. He did subscribe to my FFM. $7.99 a month he was paying just to get all the content, wasn't he? Come on, darling. But yeah, it's good, man. I'll tell you one thing though. Them elbows are a lot worse than punches, like. Aye. It is quite funny though, isn't it? Do you not think, Lee? Yeah, he's funny. The shadow boxer. But do you want to know what I've noticed? See all the trolls? They all try and get in with all the content makers, don't they? What they do is they'll try and get in with them. They'll get in with. Give it now, Scott. They'll get in with the content makers, and then they'll get you to turn. They'll get them to turn against you. That's exactly what they do. Oh, yes, I'd change it. Do you not just think the whole clout chasers on YouTube though? I was too soft, mate. I'll give you that thing, Scott. I know I get slated for $7.99. You couldn't make it up, could you, pal? I get slated for everything. I get slated for everything. Scott, he's your spanner bro. So YouTube hard, man, you've got a spanner bro as well, haven't you? So have you, Jody. Just get rid of all the idiots in the chat. Keep it nice and respectable. Ben Hatchett won't have a chance against Robbie, man. Do you know something though? It doesn't matter when it comes to Skabouli, Lauer. I get stick all the time. No one else does though. My plans for the weekend, Pete, is to keep training, keep in that mindset. Because, like I say, anything. When you've got problems mentally, you can be on a good run and you can slip. Let's call it like being an addict, isn't it? Like you can relapse. You can with your mental health as well. You can be on a really good run. So I just take each day as it comes now. And then once, after maybe the first week or the second week, you get right into a routine. Also, boxing, yeah, what should I box done? Why, what's she done, like? What's Shadow Boxer done? I don't understand. What's the crack with it, like? Because I haven't really been paying much attention. I just found some of his videos funny. Even my dog's bored. Thank you for the donation, mate. I'll answer that question, Nicky. Will it ever happen when I'm fit and if he wanted it to happen? But you know what? Listen, I'd rather fight him with no beef, just out like a sportsman. But listen, don't get it twisted. I know he can box. He's a good fighter. Don't judge him off a Douglas fight. You know what I mean? He's got a good set of skills. He's got a good skill set, and I'd have to be fit to beat him. But it would be a really good fight. Draw a lot of interest as well. But I've received a lot of stick for the past few days for pulling out of that. And I know Doug he's enjoyed that. But no, listen, like I say, the thing is with Dougie now, I don't want no arguments. Dougie's doing his thing, I'll do my thing. And it is what it is. And if he wants to have a gentleman fight and proper bare knuckle when I'm fit and ready, then so be it. But if he doesn't, then fair play. So what's the crack with Shadowboxer? What's he been doing like? Can anyone tell us what's been happening? Yeah, thank you, Jody. Thank you for being a good friend to me as well, mate. What Shadowboxer playing a character? Is he so? What? Who is the actual Shadowboxer? What does he do? Is he a fighter like? Because by looks of it, he looks like he can have a pop. What's the crack with him, the guys? What's going on? Is he actually going to fight for Dougie or not? Tell you what, he wants to watch us sell the amount of shit I'm not joking you, the amount of grief has been given him, and he's going to go and turn up there. Well, good luck to him. So he's fell into the dark side as he boxing MMA. Listen, you know what I've noticed about YouTube, and this is exactly what everyone does. Because they can't handle the heat from the dark side of YouTube, what they do is they join them instead. Because they're all little pussies, aren't they? They can't hack it getting targeted. So what they do is, you know what, I'll just save myself all this aggro, I'll just go on side with them. That's exactly what they're like. So what he's done is he's actually built up his subs fraudulently, and then he's like, you know what I mean? That's what they do, man. That's exactly what they all do. Thing is with me though, I build my channel just being myself. And don't get it wrong, he's got good content. Have you had a fight in Doncaster? Never, mate. Never, ever. Never, ever, mate. Never. It's crazy, isn't it? You use the name, they put the name in the title, and they get loads of views, and on the back of the views, they're getting subs, aren't they? Thank you very much, Mr. D. But like I say, listen, even if I was fighting someone a lot heavier than Robbie that day, and it was just bare knuckle in that open space, it'd have been a lot easier to connect. See, what was happening was, I don't know if you've seen it, I was throwing the right hand, and Robbie was very clever, because what he was doing was he was kicking and getting out of the way. So as he was kicking me, I was thrown. And because he was moving back, the punches were kind of sliding off him. They weren't connecting fully. I caught him with one good right, but because he was still moving back, it wasn't connecting properly. But I've learned from that. I've took a lot away from that fight, you know. Do you want to know something? I have not, I'm telling you now, I have not took a negative away from that fight. I've took a massive positive. The positive from it is, get better. That's a positive. Get better. Learn a bit of fundamentals, bit of ground game, bit of kicking. Now Bob's your uncle, isn't he? Big T's took a step back a bit, bro, because of all the Doylums on here. Killer Wolf, thanks for the super sticker, bro. Respect, pal. Thank you, Lee Weaver, mate. The Q10 money was more. Thank you, Lee. Do you know what, mate? I don't feel disappointment. I was gutted because you know what? If you've got to remember, guys, I've fought since 2013, never been put on my back in a bare knuckle fight. And then I know it wasn't bare knuckle, but I'm not used to being on my back and getting pounded. You know what I mean? Took a little bit of pride out of us a bit. You know what I mean? And I'll admit that. I'll be honest. I'm not going to come on here and lie. Took a little bit of pride out of us. So I've had to sit and regroup in my head. Because listen, people need to understand, stop taking away Robbie's performance because it was fantastic. And you know what? He played it to a T, man. Robbie's game plan, hit and get out the way, hit and not get hit, hit and then take me to the ground. And he'd done it, man. He'd done it. But I didn't realise it lasted 15 minutes, like. I've heard of Lee Duffy. I was actually in South Bank I was in South Bank at the weekend, Lee Duffy's area. Listen, I'll tell you a little story. I was actually speaking to a bloke in the pub on Saturday. I was talking to an old fella in the pub. He was actually very good friends with Lee, but he's also a best mate with Roy Chubby Brown. And I was talking to him. I'm not going to repeat these stories because I'm not a one for clout chasing it out. And he told us some proper naughty stories about Lee, like sitting down having a pint with him, eh? Not scared of no one, 71 pal. I just sat having a good crack with him. He was showing us that Roy Chubby Brown was messaging him. And he just told us some stories like about the back in the day. And do you know what? I can kind of imagine it being Lee Duffy, do you know what I mean? If you want to become a member, guys, Emily's just put it in there. Just click join. Become a member, guys. Telling you now, thank you, JD. I tell you now, if Shadowboxer turns up there, he'll get pummeled. Look at all the grief. That's like me going to work for the Hedgehog, man. After all the grief, you think, oh, I'll tell you what, mate, I'll come and work for you. Bump. You know, that's coarse, man. He's doing interviews, that's what they say. That's what they say, mate. You know what I mean? After all the grief, you know what I mean? Giving him proper call, like calling him like bad names and that about his like appearance and stuff. I don't stoop to them levels, mate. If at the end of the day, if you've got a problem with someone, just say you've got a problem. You don't call names and stuff. That's one person I do want to thank. I'll tell you what, he's become a really decent lad. He's Dean. Dean sent me a really nice message. I won't repeat it. Sent us a nice message yesterday. And if you're watching, Dean, thank you, bro. Lovely message, man. And Dean knows I'm not the real me at the minute. The version that turned up against Dean is the best version of me. He's grown, man. He's grown on me, man, massively. Thank you, Nicky Ricketts, mate. Get rid of that Mark Webb. Still think you would, Will. Still think you would, mate. You got to remember what people don't understand with Dean is he was taking some heavy right hands, man. Some really and getting back up. You got to have not just bottle, but you got to be tough to do that. Of course, you can think of this. All right, man, he's good, spot on. Like I say, listen. My stupidity in myself is getting surrounded with just getting in arguments online, and I know people love the drama, but there's no point. You need a real, yeah. I think Robbie's the answer for me, JD, because I need to resurrect that. Decca, you are too old to change. Well, not really, Ray. Not really, mate. I mean, I don't think you're ever too old to learn the basics, are you? If you're a natural born fighter, and you can pick up things quite quick, which I can, what? 8 weeks to learn a bit of basics of wrestling, grappling, kicking, Muay Thai. 8 weeks, consistent. It's doable, pal. I don't mean like get proper good at it. Like I just mean like learn the basics. Nah. To be honest with you, I felt unfit, but I didn't feel old when I was fighting at the weekend. Didn't feel old. You know, my patience is still there. My patience, timing beats speed at every time. Yeah, I'm going to learn. Oh, shut up, man. But listen, guys, good morning. I just want to say good morning to you. Thank you to everyone that's been tuning in. Keep subscribing to the channel, guys. If you want to become a member, you can by clicking join. And see you all after. God bless.